Hello and welcome back to Cinematic Venom and happy St. Patrick's Day! Well, you've already got to kill a leprechaun. Putting him in space is hardly far-fetched, I suppose. Leprechaun 4 in Space tells the story of the evil leprechaun, once again played by Warwick Davis. You know what? I respect this movie for never bothering to explain how this little keeps coming back from the dead. They don't even bother with an explanation, just f*** it, he's alive, he's back, who cares?
Well, it's about time.
But now he's on a remote planet in the future. If he can go to space, why didn't he just put his gold on another planet in the previous films when no one would ever steal it? But then again, if he has the ability to pull a lightsaber out of his arse, can parody Alien and jump out of men's penises, can mess with their equipment from a distance, can shoot lightning from his hand, shoot fire out of his hands, can resurrect himself sometimes, but can't sense people sneaking up on him apparently, but can telepathically control things, manifest dynamite, force people to cross-dress, create disgusting growths on people's faces. How the hell has he died 3 times before this? These movies are weird.
What a pity.
But he's trying to become king of this bird's home planet before a bunch of space marines show up to interfere, including Heidi from Home Improvement, who treats him like he's Tim Allen. And this guy, who actually has been in some pretty popular movies like Lethal Weapon 3, Street Fighter, Friday the 13th Part 5, and yet I still know him from Slam Dunk Ernest.
Wait, come again?
They're under orders from Dr. Mittenhand, played by Guy Steiner, but yeah, it's basically a parody of Alien, and he's really sacrificing them to try to get the princess's alien DNA to create his own body. Strangely enough, according to executive producer Dave Trippett, who had worked on the previous 3, solid resume. The original idea began as a parody of Apollo 13, and not Alien. But as production went along, director Brian Trenchard Smith was unhappy with the final film, especially the special effects, describing them as being below PlayStation. The funny thing is, the third movie received criticism for its overly comedic tone, so Smith decided to tone it down and incorporate more homages to the sci-fi genre. So putting the leprechaun in space was supposed to be more serious.
Hurry up, dickhead.
But regardless, he did actually want a sequel to this in which the leprechaun was going to terrorize the White House. But sadly, this never materialized. It, we'll send him to the hood instead. Close enough.
What the do you want?
I mean, it does open with arguably the worst CGI of a spaceship I've ever seen, and it does sadden me that this was accidental. I was hoping this was completely intentional. The effects are atrocious, but at points they're so goofy you can't help but laugh at them. Although, this long shot isn't actually half bad, so fair play. And towards the end, they seem to parody the practical makeup and effects of The Fly, which are also pretty damn good. The blue screens are arse, with shots that aren't even in bloody focus.
We've been chasing this alien son of a bitch long enough. In the past 6 months, he has disrupted the galactic mining operation to a tune of $500 million.
And he decapitated Freddy Krueger for some reason. Still waiting for that sequel, by the way.
My future wife.
Your wife? Your wife? How dare you? Do you know who I am?
Yeah, my wife. Pay attention.
Your father, the king. He hasn't a penny to his name. He's a stupid old fool who gave everything he had to his loyal subjects.
Remember when the leprechaun would just rhyme everything he said? Now he just talks like a normal person. In fact, there's times where it looks and sounds like he's going to rhyme a limerick, but then he just doesn't.
Come at me with what you will. Shoot me, stab me, kill me 100 ways.
Did he forget that he's a leprechaun? Well, given this much, the acting seems deliberately cheesy and over the top to spoof low-budget B-movies, so itself. I just love how he casually pulls out a lightsaber as if this has always been an ability of his.
What was your name?
Sergeant Malloy?
You couldn't get Stallone, so the director hired me from Wish! Actually, jokes aside, they did acknowledge that he looks an awful lot like Stallone, so the original idea was that this character was just going to be doing an impression of Sly for the entire movie. But they backed out because they were worried that they'd face a lawsuit. Good call.
What?
It's a joke.
I don't care. The leprechaun erupting from a man's dick is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a horror movie. The evil corporate douchebag is also incredibly over the top, which is hilarious. You gotta love how everyone treats this so straight and serious, like this is a completely legitimate Marine movie. Again, I hoped that that was the joke, but to find out that it was intended to be more serious really disappoints me, so I guess it loses points. I struggle to see how it's serious. The blonde does not act like she's listening to her friends being massacred, and none of them act as if 2 of the crew have been axed off at this point. They all just continue listening to Dr. Evil here like nothing has happened. And the black guy is just lazy black stereotype.
I don't give a damn if she the queen of souls. Come on now, stop all that lovey-dovey. Come on! Lordy, Mr. Daniels, it sure be dark in here.
Did I mention I'm black? I'm black, yo! But admittedly, it is pretty cool when the Leprechaun meets the love child of Richard O'Brien and a deformed Dalek. And while they talk, the nerdy dude is acting like the damn slasher villain.
It's time you were punished.
You must watch Leprechaun 3! It's weird because are we supposed to feel bad when the Leprechaun tortures RoboCop's bitch? He's also a piece of shit. The humans are the boring ones. There is a scene where the princess exposes her tits, and apparently the actress didn't want to do it, but was forced to do so. So the writer changed it to the most ridiculous thing they could think of, which is that on their planet, this is their calling card to show that they are going to die. I think the issue here is not only did it intend to be a lot more serious than it is, but I just don't think it goes all out like it should. Don't get me wrong, it does sometimes get a laugh.
If I lose any more of my troops, your ass is grass. If you even got an ass.
But I think it holds back. You're a leprechaun in space. Go all out, man.
I am now Mitten Spider.
See, like that? This is the serious one? I also love how one of them has a metal plate on his head for the entire movie. And then after 70 minutes...
He wasn't even human.
No! Although during the third act, you do get the impression that the movie is now taking itself a lot more seriously than it should. The director tries to mess with perception as we get a giant Warwick Davis, but it really doesn't work. Yes, I'm totally convinced that a giant leprechaun is trying to step on skinny Stallone, but the way he dies is so anticlimactic. And the effects of him being sucked out into space is amazing. The movie... I don't even know. I got some laughs here and there, but for a film named Leprechaun in Space, you'd expect a lot more laughs. It's alright, at least as far as this stupid franchise goes. If you liked the others, I guess it's worth checking out, but it's nowhere near as good as 2, but I guess it's better than 1 and 3? Make of that what you will. This franchise, man. This franchise, and there's still more.